This week, I've been spending time with the 2025 Hyundai IONIQ 5 XRT. The XRT is a new trim for 2025, along with some minor updates, minor welcomed updates. I like that rear wiper and some other things we'll be covering along the video. Base price for the IONIQ 5 SE rear-wheel drive standard battery is just over $45,000, and as tested for this XRT is just over $58,000. The XRT adds about a 1-inch lift. You do get these 18-inch wheels and tires. Continental cross contact, pretty decent tire as well. Revised front fascia with some orange tow hooks. In the rear, you can see the back has changed too. Have this digital camouflage all the way around. Go ahead and take a look at the back here. Open up the hatch. You do get a power lift gate along with a nice LED light bar all the way across. Do get a cargo net, some storage under here. For 2025, the IONIQ 5 switches to the NACS charging port, but they do give you the CCS and the J1772 adapters to go with the vehicle to charge pretty much anywhere, which is very nice. I actually ended up using a Tesla charger this week and experienced no problems at all. Just worked perfectly. The only gripe that I have is Teslas have the charge port on the other side of the car, and this has it on the right side of the car. So you are going to take up like 2 stalls if you do charge this in a Tesla supercharger, which is a little bit unfortunate. You can charge this from 10 to 80 in about 35 minutes or so on a Tesla supercharger, and about 25 minutes on a 350 kilowatt DC fast charger using the CCS adapter. These door handles do pop out. They do recess into the vehicle when it's locked like that. Back here, plenty of room. These seats do fold down into a 60-40 split to allow for a lot of cargo space. I ended up fitting a 6-foot table back here. Stepping back in here, you do have very nice ingress and egress, plenty of leg room. I'm 6 foot, driver seat's in my position. Got like 2 or 3 inches of headroom, couple USB-C ports, couple map pockets, full flat floor all the way up to the front as well. No complaints at all. The XRT does get rear heated seats as well. Just the cushion though. These seats are extremely comfortable, nice and plush. You get some vents back here. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's under the hood. Not a whole lot. You do get a small frunk. Not very useful for very much, maybe the charging cord, and that's about it in your adapters. The battery has been updated to, I think, 84 kilowatts, which is up from last year. So the range is a little bit more in the other trims, but this XRT model gets about 259, 260 miles of range on a charge. You can thank the off-road tires in the lift kit for that, but I've been experiencing about 220, 230 real-world miles of range this week. Up here in the front, you get dual power seats with XRT embossed in the seat back itself. These are heated. Up here, you're greeted with a nice, refreshed gauge cluster, infotainment, and center console. Very much welcome. You do get the wireless Android Auto, wireless CarPlay, updated CCNC interface. You get 360 reverse camera as well. You can go all the way around. Very cool. I love this infotainment. I've seen it in other Hyundai models all across the lineup. All the goodies that you can find in here. Built-in navigation as well. I typically use Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. You can customize everything you can think of in this car: charging times, charging schedules, colors, gauge themes, with the customization settings in this infotainment. But you guys know, you guys have seen it all throughout the years between my videos and other people's videos of just the level of customization you can do in Hyundai vehicles. It's very, very nice. Down through here, you do get your dual zone automatic climate control. Then coming down through here, you do get the revised center console with a wireless charger, physical controls, which is so nice to see, for heated the seat and heated steering wheel, 2-stage heated steering wheel as well. A little bit of storage down here with a couple connectivity ports, decent size, a center console for, you know, what it is. This does lift up so you can access stuff down here a little easier. Decent sized glove box as well that's illuminated. Some more storage down here with a 12-volt outlet and a USB-C port. The center console still moves out of the way for 2025, which is super nice. Once again, you do get that flat floor up front. I did forget to mention one thing. This does come with a vehicle-to-load outlet back here, so you can power a ton of electronics back here if you're like camping and you want to plug in your laptop or charge some things. Back here, you can do that. Then as we come back forward here, I believe the steering wheel has been updated. The XRT get these special terrain modes as well. You can press this button to go in snow, mud, and sand. It'll change the traction control system to allow for better traction in snow, mud, or sand. And you can even toggle the drive mode as well. It's separate from the terrain mode though. Normal, Sport, My Drive, and Eco. I've just been keeping it in normal this week. You can see it's telling me I have 322 miles of range. that's not accurate at all. I love how ambiguous it is, but that unfortunately will not get 322 miles of range no matter what I do. Gear selector is on the right here. This has been creeping into all the Hyundai vehicles, this column shifter. I love it so much. It's very easy, very straightforward. It's one thing I like about this EV and why I think it is the best EV on the market today is they're not trying to reinvent the wheel here. Everybody can climb into this vehicle and drive it. You don't need, like, I just drove a Tesla this week to actually compare it directly with this. I'm 30 years old and it took me forever to figure out all the controls and how to put the thing in drive and adjust my mirrors. There's physical controls everywhere and it's just easy to get in and drive. It drives like a normal car. It feels like a normal car in here. This does have one pedal drive, although I think the biggest con of this vehicle is one pedal drive. You have to engage every single time using the paddle shifters behind the wheel. You get 4 levels of regen: off, level 1, level 2, level 3, and I pedal, which is that one pedal drive. And like I said, every time you turn off the vehicle, it defaults into, I think, level 2 or 3, and you have to hit this pedal here to engage I pedal, that one pedal drive feature. Now the XRT here, with these off-road wheels and tires, does provide a little bit more cabin noise, but it's hardly noticeable. The ride, the suspension on the XRT specifically is definitely a lot softer than the standard IONIQ 5. This is such a nice plush ride. You hardly feel any bumps on the road or potholes. I'm sure off-road on some back gravel roads, because you're not gonna take this thing to Moab, Utah, but I'm sure on some back roads it would perform awesome. You take a left here, you do get Hyundai's blind spot turn signal cameras as well, which is super nice. Once you get into a car without that blind spot camera system, you really miss it. Visibility is still great, especially with the addition of the rear wiper for 2025. So glad they added that. I don't know why that wasn't a thing back when they designed this vehicle. If I do have a little bit of a gripe, I think it's a little too short. I wish the wiper was a little bit longer so it covered the whole window. There's about like a 6-inch gap on the top of the rear window that it doesn't cover. So it's better than nothing. Baby steps, maybe they'll increase the wiper size later. On this bumpy back road here, the suspension just soaks up everything. Like I said earlier, just glides effortlessly over these bumps. Handling is okay. With these off-road tires and the 1-inch lift, you do suffer a bit in the handling department. There's a lot more understeer, safe understeer, but you know, it's still fun to huck around some corners, and you know, with the low center of gravity still with an EV, it does handle relatively well. So yeah, I hardly have to use the brake. This one pedal drive is awesome. And as always, instant torque from these electric motors never gets old. This XRT does feel a little bit slower than the other trims of the IONIQ 5 that I've tested, but I mean, that's to be expected. Not a surprise here. It's still very rapid. Seats are super comfortable too, super supportive. Hold you in your seat nicely. Very comfortable on long trips as well. Adjustable lumbar. No squeaks in here, no rattles this week. All right, nobody's coming. Let's floor it. And just like that, we are up to 60 miles an hour. And as we're on the highway here, nice and quiet. You can engage Hyundai's Highway Driving Assist 2, which is very nice. It does have lane centering, and it will help you change lanes as well. This is not a hands-free driving system, but on mapped highways, it will not prompt you to put your hands on the wheel for quite a long time, which is nice. Allows for a very stress-free driving experience. Hyundai's Highway Driving Assist is, in my opinion, one of the best hands-on systems in the business. The only thing is, if you have one pedal drive turn on and you just shut the cruise control off, you'll just lurch forward and your seat does have a driver attention monitor right here. Make sure you are paying attention to the road and not anything else. It's really cool, this Hyundai logo on the steering wheel, depending on which drive modes you select, you know, changes colors. And this also is a charging indicator as well. This vehicle also does come equipped with a Bose stereo system that sounds amazing. I would rate it a solid B tier sound system. You can enjoy it on the highway as it's nice and quiet in here. Overall here, a very solid update for the IONIQ 5. I know a lot of people were complaining about some little things, you know, the main one being that rear wiper. And it's nice that Hyundai listened to their customers and gave them what they want. And I really, really hope Hyundai sticks with these physical controls all throughout the cabin as well and doesn't try to go all futuristic with everything. Now, Hyundai does include a level 1 charger that you can plug in on your traditional outlet at home. That does take forever to charge. I would recommend getting a 240 outlet installed in your house. That'll take the charge time to, I believe, 7 or 8 hours from 10% all the way up to 100, I think, if I remember correctly. I have a 25-mile commute one way to work, so 50 miles round trip. And the level 1 doesn't really keep up with that commute for me that I've found. I've just found that as the week progresses, the battery level goes lower and lower and lower. New for 2025 is also the startup and exit sounds. This cracks me up. It's like a cartoon. Sounds good. All right, there is one more feature I'd like to show you. It also does come equipped with the remote start park assist is what I think it's called. If you're in a puddle or if you're just parked too close to somebody or if somebody parked too close to you, you can move it with the key fob. Very, very handy. A lot of people think this is a gimmick, but I've actually used this all the time on all the Hyundai vehicles I have. Sometimes I accidentally park too close to my yard and I don't really want to hop into the car to move it, and I can just move it with the key fob so I'm not, you know, hitting the vehicle with my mower. Very, very handy. It does have parking sensors front and rear to make sure that you don't hit anything. Does a really good job of that. All right, guys, I think that is going to conclude my review of the 2025 Hyundai IONIQ 5 XRT. Let me know what you guys think of the comments of this thing. Please be sure to like and subscribe. Shout out to Hyundai for providing this vehicle for me to film this week. It's been a pleasure, and we'll go ahead and see you in the next video. Take care, everybody.